Hello friends and welcome back to our YouTube channel Struggle to Satisfaction, and today I'm going to make a video about PML language. I think when I was learning Aviva stuff, so this is the most hot topic, like most people wanted to learn. There was very limited resources available. So yeah, I also got pinned. So I thought let's share this a small information about PML. There's a lot of confusion in the market. So let's begin. Then you'll discuss. Okay. So let me open my notepad. Right. Okay. So what do you mean by PML? But if someone says that if you want to become a E3D administrator, is it necessary to know the PML language? So I can say uh 70-30%. So if 70%, yeah, PML language can increase the uh, what you can say, your importance. It will improve the importance, or it will make you an important person in the market if you know PML language. But it doesn't necessary that if you don't know PML language you can't be a good E3 administrator. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about PML. Okay, why we use PML, basically what is this PML stuff. Okay. Mm, so let's begin. Okay, let's come to the point straight away. So what is PML? What is PML? Okay, what is PML? So see, we everyone, we are we are not a programmer, right? Some of you are piping designer, or some of you are structural designer, whatever discipline you have. So basically admin, though, only those people learn generally, those are designer and they want to excel their career in the field of admin. So then they start think about learning E3D admin and this PML language. Okay, so I will tell you, like, think like an engineer right now, not a programmer. Okay, because you already know how PDMS or E3D works. Correct? You already know how PDMS or E3D works. Means what happened in PDMS or E3D? You just simply type commands, right? You just simply type commands and E3D executed one by one. Okay, means, or you can say line by line. So for example, like you write new site. Okay, and if you press enter, then you write new zone, right? And you say name slash pip pipe zone. Got name slash pipe zone, and then you create new pipe, right? So what is this? It's a line by line command return. It is executing also line by line. So PDMS or E3D itself is not intelligent. It exactly do what you tell it, nothing more. Okay, so basically I can say this is a macro. This is what? This is a macro. So definitely there's a big confusion about macro and PML, right? Macro and PML. So first question arise, what is macro? What is macro? So macro is nothing but it's a text file that contain E3D command written in order. That's the meaning of macro. I can write it like text file that contain E3 or PDMS. Now we use PDMS, so we'll focus on E3D only. So E3D commands written in order. This is about macro. It's not PML. PML is something else. Macro is like text file, simple text file. Look at say notepad file that can contain E3 commands written in sequence order. You can say. If I show you an example, this is an example itself. New site, it will execute, and then the next command new zone, and will give the name of that node, name of that zone, or you can write this in the next line also. So series of command will. So PDMS behave as you type each line manually. You got my point. So this is macro. Macro, or you can say key point. The key point you can say is a macro can't think. Yeah, macro cannot think. It can't decide anything. It can't decide anything, or it can't check conditions. Macro can't do any of these things, and that's why the PML comes in picture. Now I hope you got an understanding between what is macro and why we are using PPM here, right? So PMS is different, macros is different. Okay, macro can't think, they can't decide, they cannot make any decisions. That's why we have PML in the picture, right? So PML is nothing but it's an in-house developed, you can say, a coding language. Because of the project integrity, data integrity purpose, they created this language. Okay, right. So next part, so this is our part 1. Now we will come to part 2. Part 2 is your why PML exists. Why PML exists. Okay, now do one thing here, just ask by yourself, like for example, what can I say, like, okay, if there is a pipe which is already exist, okay, like you query name slash p dash 1001. Okay, so this thing is already exist, or let us say a condition where the temperature is high, or you set a range of temperature which can be considered as a high, or you say like if a bore is greater than 4 inch, so you can consider it as a greater than 2 inch, you can consider it as a large bore, or less than 2 inch it can be considered as a small bore, right? Or what happened if user selected a wrong element. So the PML works on what if. It basically works on what if temperature is high, what if ore is greater than 100, what if someone is selected the wrong component. So that's the reason PML exists. So PML, I can say PML is equals to E3D command plus uh, decision making, right? PML is equals to E3D command plus decision making. So decision making, what do you mean by now? What is decision making? Okay, so decision making, now here it comes with some language terminology we are using. Okay, so language terminology means decision making means what do you mean by decision making? So decision making, for example, if statements we use a lot in this PML language, if, do, when, variable, all those stuff. So I will cover those things also, but just a small introduction I'm giving in this video. So if something is true, let us say if something is true, then do this, right? For example, I say if bore is greater than 2, then print large bore, or else if bore is less than 2, print small bore. So if statement, if something is true, do this. Okay, or you can say else do something. That's a else, the statement, so else do something else. Yeah, so that's the condition. If bore is greater than 2 inch, print large bore, else small bore. So it will check a condition. Okay, it's check a conditions. But in macro you can't assign any condition. Macro is simply writing a PDMS commands, or sorry, E3D commands in a sequence wise. That's called macro. But when it comes to the PML, it seems to be little bit like you are entering in a world of coder, a programmer. Okay, but don't get scared about all these things like programmer, coder. You don't want to be a programmer or coder. Okay, you are a E3D admin, so you need some logics, or you want to fetch some data. Okay, by using the attributes and all those things, but you are using small if but things from the coding part, right? Okay, let me take let me give you one first PML idea I will consider here. So let's say for example, if temperature temperature is greater than 50, I'm just taking an example just to explain you things. So then say high temperature pipe. Okay, so this is the message that I wanted, so I just write down this message in double inverted comma. Okay, so here I would say you need a little bit of awareness about the type of data types like string. Okay, so string, boolean, integer, float, blah blah things are there. Okay, we will cover all those things when we learn Python or C sharp and all those. I will cover those things also for you guys, because I just wanted you guys to be perfect in this. Okay, so if temperature is greater than 50, then say high temperature, or else, or you can say, I'm just writing in layman language, otherwise say low temperature. I hope there is no doubt in this concept. Yeah, so this is called logic. What is this? It's a logic. It's not a command. It's not a command which I have written in a command window. It's a logic. I just created logic, and now I have to write a code which will execute it and give me the required information. So this is the PDMS, sorry, PML logic. Okay. Now there are two things. There are two things in the market. So one is called as PML1 and PML2. So basically we have to focus. We have to focus on PML2, that is currently in the market running. That is running currently in the market. So PML1, what is PML1? So it's an old style, okay, and it's a legacy of, obviously it's legacy of PDMS. But nowadays PML2 is little bit more a new style or new version of writing a code or logic, and it is very much cleaner and structured way. Means it is designed in that way. So mostly people always, like, if you see any job requirement of AVEVA E3D administrator, you always see you should be having a experience of PML2 language or C sharp, .NET. Okay, so those kind of languages you should be aware of, right? Okay, fine. So so this is about the logic which I try to convey in this chapter. Okay, so how why PML we use, it's not, PML and macro are not similar. Okay, let me tell you something more about what you can say. Okay, let's take how to print a message, for example. So there are particular ways that you need to learn in PML. Okay, well, okay, we will continue those things in the next video, otherwise we will distract from the main topic. Okay, so let's say how to print, how to print, right? How to print a message. So for that purpose you just need a dollar sign and P. So dollar P says whatever is written, it has to be print. So the output of that is print the message. So I will write in single inverted comma and write hello. So hello is nothing but a string, and string has to be write down in between two single inverted commas. Okay, so string, so its data type is string, its data type is string, and it store text value. Okay, it store text value, and we have to write down, we have to write down this in single inverted commas, single, very single inverted commas. So this one space, this one, yeah, like this. Okay, so I'm just not talking about any variable, if or loop statement, nothing, like just a simple print message. You can simply print this dollar $p and hello, and you can put it in your command window, it will work. You got my point? So this is how it will goes. So I hope you just got a small 1% idea of what is this macro and PML stuff. Okay, so we can continue with this and later stage of classes, and then we will discuss more about what is this PML and how to write PMLs. There are a lot of things are there, like first of all you have to learn fundamentals, then variables, then statements, if else statement, do loops, and all those things are there. Object oriented programming are there. So there are a lot of stuff you have to learn. But before learning any PML language, make sure that you are strong enough in E3D administration. Okay, so E3D admin has to be a strong core point, and before that you should be aware of the modeling part also. Okay, so don't jump directly into PML, otherwise you are simply wasting your money. Okay, because these courses are very expensive in the market. So before doing anything related to PML, just make sure that you are well capable enough of doing E3D admin job. Okay, okay guys, thank you so much. We will see you in the next video.